Om Nam Shivaya students. How are you? I hope you are all safe. Now you are sitting home frustrated because of this COVID-19. But there is no way to escape. We have to face it. In today's lesson, we come across such a situation from which no human beings can escape. Now, you might have seen a sannyasi or a monk talking or delivering speech to a group of people who is sitting in front of him or around him. In Malikav, we have seen Amma delivering speech or talking or telling a story to millions of people sitting there. Also in church, during the church services, the priest used to deliver speech based on the passage from the Bible. Do you know what we call such talk or speech delivered on spiritual or moral subject? Talk, yes, it is a talk. It's a spiritual talk. It is a speech. But can you tell me some other word? Have you heard the word sermon? So we call this as sermon. Today, we are going to study a new lesson. It is about a sermon delivered by a great person. He is the founder of Buddhism. Can you tell me who is the founder of Buddhism? Yes, very good. It's none other than Gautama Buddha. A philosopher, a meditator, a spiritual teacher, a religious leader. The name of the lesson you are going to study today is The Sermon at Banaras. In this lesson, we will discuss about the first sermon delivered by Gautama Buddha. Where and to whom? We will also have a small glimpse of Buddha's past life. The source of the lesson is Betty Renshaw's Values and Voices, a college reader 1975. She was a teacher by profession. Now, let us come to the title of the lesson, The Sermon at Banaras. A sermon means a talk on religious or moral subject. Gautama Buddha delivered his first sermon at Banaras, which is a holy city on the bank of river Ganga. It is famous for dipping. Hundreds of people used to come to take a holy dip in river Ganga. Buddha delivered his first sermon at Banaras to a lady named Kisa Gautami. Let us go to the new words of this lesson. Scriptures, the sacred writings of a religion, befitted, be appropriate for, suit, chanced upon, came across by chance, enlightenment, a state of high spiritual knowledge. Preached, deliver a religious address to an assembled group of people. Sermon, a talk on religious or moral subject. Holy, sacred, dipping places, bathing places, inscrutable, something which cannot be understood. Now, coming to the lesson. Gautama Buddha was born in 563 BC and went to his heavenly abode in 483 BC. He was born as a prince named Siddhartha Gautama. He was sent to Gurukula at the age of 12 to study sacred scriptures and returned 4 years later and married a princess. Soon they both were blessed with a son. At the age of 25, he went out for hunting. He came across some sights which moved him, forced him to think about the reality of life. He was still then shielded, that is, kept away from the sufferings of the world. The sight he chanced upon was a sick man, an aged man, a funeral procession, and finally a monk, that is a sannyasi, begging for alms. These sights forced him to think about the reality of life. What is life cycle? What is the reason for all the sufferings of life? And this exposure to the sufferings of the world forced him to leave his princehood. Because of his intense urge to know the reality of life, he went into the world to seek enlightenment. He wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree. And he got enlightened after 7 days. And he renamed the tree the Bodhi tree, that is the tree of wisdom. And he was now known as Gautama Buddha, the wise, awakened, or the enlightened. After this, he preached his first sermon at Banaras. It reflects Buddha's wisdom about one inscrutable kind of suffering. Inscrutable means something which cannot be understood. The sermon was delivered to Kisa Gautami. There was a lady named Kisa Gautami. She had an only son, and he died. Suffering with unending pain, she went from house to house, looking for a medicine to bring her son back to life. People said, "She has lost her senses. The boy is dead." She met a man who replied to her request. He directed her to Lord Buddha. On hearing the name of Lord Buddha, she took her son and approached Buddha and requested to give her the medicine. She cried, "Lord and Master, give me the medicine that will cure my boy." Buddha told her to collect handful of mustard seed and also told her that the seeds must be procured from a house that had seen no death, a house where no one has lost a child, husband, parent, or friend. Kisa Gautami now went from house to house, but to her dismay, she could not find mustard seeds from a house that would fulfill Buddha's condition. Now, what happened to Kisa? Did she realize the secret of death? We will study in the next class. What did you get from the lesson? Can anyone tell me? Right. Humans are mortal and no one can escape from the cycle of death. The cycle of life and death is nature's way of working. Everyone who takes birth has to die one day. We all will die one day. Life is full of trials and tribulations. It is this reality that Buddha wants to convey to Kisa. Can you tell me, why did Buddha ask Kisa to collect a handful of mustard from a house where death had not occurred? Can anyone tell me? Yes, very good. Buddha gave Kisa an opportunity to realize herself the realities of life. Did Kisa realize it or not? We will come across it in the next class. Now it's time to wind up the class. Write the answer to these questions and submit it tomorrow. Why did Gautama Buddha go out to seek enlightenment? Did Kisa realize that life and death is a process? What do you think? Om Namah Shivaya. Once again, I request you to stay home, stay safe. Thank you.